We're back with Dr. Katrina Wynn, author of 3 books. The Overcoming Mediocrity, Epic Woman, that was came out in 2023. Another one that came out in 2023 is called The Confidence of Yes. These books were Amazon bestsellers, and now her latest book is called Live to Give. It's an inspirational memoir about freedom, faith, and selflessness. Basically, her journey, not only her journey of faith as it's evolved, but also her journey from a communist country, Vietnam, in 1975 after the fall of Saigon, to the United States of America. And if there's somebody who can really detect communism, it would be somebody like Dr. Katrina Wynn. So, Doctor, talk to me a little bit about what I was asking you. There was a significant week that changed you both personally and professionally.
So that was in June 2006. My husband and I had both finished fellowship, and I had 2 weeks to move to New York and start a fellowship. We did residency in Missouri. I did residency in Missouri. He finished up in Illinois. I had a graduation for internal medicine on Tuesday and a graduation for pediatrics on Friday, and got married on Saturday. And
Wow.
his parents helped us move, so picked up all my stuff, picked up all his stuff in Illinois, and we did the drive across to New York in the U-Haul. Then we had 2 weeks to find an apartment and get started. So professionally, personally, we grew very quickly with his side of the family. We got to know people in New York and New Jersey, and immersed quickly from going from a Midwest to the East Coast. And professionally, he supported me, knowing that only one of us had to kind of settle in professionally until he got his license and get started later.
Wow.
But I think it was one of those challenges early in marriage. If we can get through this together, we can do it, and trusting in God to guide us along the way. So that was a challenging time. We packed a lot in 1 to 2 weeks, but we did it with the help of his family as well.
Wow. In 2014, you formed a nonprofit called Faithful to Fitness. Talk about how God led you to do that.
I was sitting, I had gone through a Light of the World retreat in the spring of that year, and I was sitting in the Adoration Chapel, and I talked to God, and I said, I want to do more for my community and wellness and prevention for children. And I just heard this in my voice just kind of say, whatever name you decide on your nonprofit, include faith in it and focus on volunteerism, time, talent, and treasure. And that's really the basis of the cover of my book, is the time, talent, and treasure. But everything is very focused on, within forming the nonprofit, is seeking God's will and asking God to connect me to the right people who have a passion for health and wellness and are willing to volunteer their time, talent, and treasure. And it is a registered trademark since 2016. And so my goal is to help expand it to other cities within America. I have a blueprint that I share in the Overcoming Mediocrity, Epic Women book about how to do that.
What's the Hilton Publishing Company's website?
It's HiltonPublishingInternational.com.
There you go. Or you can get it from one of the big guys like Amazon. But it's better to go to the publisher and give them the business.
Yes.
Give Hilton Publishing Company, give them the business. The big guys don't need the business. They already have enough. So you dedicate a chapter in your book to the Light of the World retreat that obviously had a powerful impact on your spiritual journey. Talk about that a little bit. I've never heard of it. So share with me. I'm interested in hearing what that was all about.
Light of the World retreat was actually formed in Rockford, Illinois at Holy Family Catholic Church, which I didn't know when I moved here. And this was the first time I went to a retreat in 2014. It's really a 3-day weekend retreat and focused on really prayer and the importance of the Holy Spirit and seeking God's will in all that we do in all aspects of our life, personally, professionally, in our family, in our community. And I felt that from that point on, I was much more involved in my church. I went to adoration more often. I incorporated prayer into everything I did and not rely on just my own talents and my own strength. And I met, lots of people in the community and who helped me grow in my faith and also connected me to Catholic Medical Association. So wow. I felt like that was the reason why God brought me to Rockford, Illinois. I needed that retreat more than I ever knew.
Wow. So that was that was basically like the cherry on the cake. That's, from all your experiences, your faith experiences, this kind of like,
that was it. That was what I needed.
Yeah. That's that. What do they call it? It was the bow on the present,
Yeah.
So your passion for the underdog, because I can hear the way you talk, you have this very special love for people less fortunate than yourself, because obviously you've done well for yourself. You and your husband, you guys have done very well for yourself. And you can tell that you haven't forgotten where you come from. Just by talking to you, you could tell that your feet are firmly planted on planet Earth. You haven't forgotten the poverty that you came from, the communism you came from. And so your passion for the underdog has led to your involvement in the St. Vincent de Paul Society. Do you have any stories you'd like to share from that?
So I've been involved with St. Vincent de Paul Society in Rockford, Illinois since December 2016. I serve in the fundraising committee. I don't do home visits, but what I found is that's where my talent is. I use my connections in the community and through social media to encourage people to give what they can. I think it doesn't matter whether you're Catholic or Christian. Everybody can find joy through generosity. And all of us, I always say, all of us are only a few paychecks away from homelessness. Yeah. So just because you're a doctor, you can lose a job and next thing you know, everything is gone. So the stories are that I find that there are many people who can give, they just don't know where to give. And offering the stories about St. Vincent de Paul and the needs of our community is bringing the community together to build the virtue of generosity. So that's really the main thing I'd like to share about my involvement with St. Vincent de Paul.
Doctor, we need more men. We need more Catholic doctors like you. Oh boy. There's a lack of doctors that talk like you talk, with that component of faith. I respect that profession, but there's a difference when you meet a doctor that's grounded in faith, whether they're Catholic or Protestant or even Jewish. When they're grounded in faith, there's just this added dimension of kindness that you can see from them. It's just they're not looking at you like, just a bunch of protoplasm and cells and bones and sinew and tissue slammed together. They see you. Yeah, they really care for you. They see you for the human person that you are. So what do you think God is calling you to do next?
In the past few years, I feel that God is calling me to earn less money as a doctor, but really spend more time evangelizing. So he's continues to provide for me and my husband with opportunities that I never even saw coming, and above and beyond. And so he wants me to share about the stories of the saints, because every saint has a past, right? And every sinner has a future. And I want to share stories of mercy and God's grace and bring people to God, regardless of what's happened in their life. I also want to inspire people to find joy through generosity. And we need more generosity in the world. People forget when they get successful. I want to help people, but then when they get up here, they forget that they were where they once were. So as speaking through podcasts, through sharing live events, that's really one of my goals, to build on that.
Doctor, you've written 3 books. Which was the first book you wrote? Give me the title, second book title, third book title, and then where can people get your books?
So Live to Give is actually published December 2020, Hilton Publishing Company or Amazon. And then the second book was The Confidence of Yes, published January 2023. And the third book is The Overcoming Mediocrity Epic Women. I actually have my own website called mdkatrina.com, and you can find all my books there. So, those are different types of audiences and opportunities to connect with other women authors as well. Really, my goal is to inspire people to be generous, to be faithful, and to, go out there and use your time and talent to make a difference, not just make an income.
There you go. Get the books. I don't go to any of the big websites or the publisher. Go to mkatrina.com.
mdkatrina.com.
mdkatrina. Thank you. mdkatrina.com. mdkatrina.com. Her first book, Live to Give, which we're talking about in this very interesting interview. Her second book, The Confidence of Yes. And her third book, Overcoming Mediocrity, Epic Women. These are books that any Catholic that wants to grow in her interior life and wants to be inspired to be the best version of themselves. These are 3 books that should be on every Catholic woman's shelves. So get the books by going to mdkatrina.com. Doctor, you got about a minute left. Any closing comments?
Thank you very much for having me on your show. I hope my story that I've shared will inspire people to be more selfless, to appreciate faith and freedom, and really to share their story of appreciation of faith and freedom as well.